Question 1. A project team is working on a new software product using an Agile approach. During a sprint review, stakeholders observe that a key feature developed in the current sprint does not fully meet their expectations for usability, despite meeting the written acceptance criteria. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager or Scrum Master to take in the delivery performance domain? A. Document the discrepancy as a change request and initiate the formal change control process. B. Coach the team and stakeholders to discuss the feedback and prioritize usability improvements in the product backlog for a future iteration. C. Instruct the team to immediately stop current work and rework the feature to address the usability issues. D. Remind stakeholders that the team met the agreed-upon acceptance criteria and close out the sprint. Answer: B. Coach the team and stakeholders to discuss the feedback and prioritize usability improvements in the product backlog for a future iteration. In an Agile environment, the sprint review is a crucial event for inspecting the increment and adapting the product backlog based on stakeholder feedback, fostering continuous improvement. When usability issues arise, even if initial acceptance criteria were met, the most appropriate action is to capture this valuable feedback and prioritize it for future development, reflecting the adaptive nature of Agile delivery. This approach ensures that the product evolves to meet true user needs over time, rather than rigidly adhering to initial specifications. Always remember that Agile embraces change throughout the project lifecycle to deliver maximum value. Question 2. A predictive project is nearing its completion, and the project manager notices that several non-critical deliverables have been completed ahead of schedule, but a critical path activity is experiencing a significant delay. What is the project manager's primary focus within the delivery performance domain regarding this situation? A. Reallocating resources from the completed non-critical tasks to accelerate the delayed critical path activity. B. Notifying all stakeholders about the ahead-of-schedule non-critical deliverables. C. Preparing a formal change request to adjust the project's overall completion date. D. Initiating a comprehensive risk assessment for all remaining project activities. Answer: A. Reallocating resources from the completed non-critical tasks to accelerate the delayed critical path activity. The delivery performance domain emphasizes effective execution to deliver the project's scope and achieve its objectives. In a predictive project, the critical path dictates the shortest possible project duration, so any delays on it directly impact the project's end date. Reallocating resources from non-critical tasks that are ahead of schedule to the delayed critical path activity is a proactive and effective way to mitigate the delay and keep the project on track. Always prioritize activities on the critical path to maintain schedule integrity. Question 3. During a project's execution phase, the team identifies a defect in a delivered component that was previously thought to be complete and approved. This defect impacts the functionality of a subsequent component. What is the immediate next step for the project manager in the delivery performance domain? A. Raise a formal change request to revise the project's scope. B. Isolate the issue, assess its impact, and work with the team to determine the root cause and a resolution. C. Escalate the defect to the project sponsor for guidance and decision-making. D. Document the defect as a lesson learned for future projects. Answer: B. Isolate the issue, assess its impact, and work with the team to determine the root cause and a resolution. Identifying and addressing defects promptly is a core aspect of ensuring quality and effective delivery. When a defect is discovered, the immediate priority is to understand its scope and impact to prevent further issues and determine a corrective action. This involves analysis and collaboration with the team to find a resolution, ensuring the delivered component meets quality standards and the project can progress efficiently. Prompt problem solving is key to maintaining project flow and preventing small issues from escalating. Question 4. A new PMP certified project manager has joined a project midway through execution. They notice that the project team is consistently delivering features at the end of each iteration, but stakeholders are frequently expressing dissatisfaction because the features are not meeting their unstated underlying needs. Which action best aligns with improving delivery effectiveness? A. Implement stricter adherence to the defined acceptance criteria during iteration reviews. B. Introduce user stories and collaborative discussions with stakeholders during backlog refinement sessions. C. Prioritize technical debt repayment to improve the quality of future deliveries. D. Increase the frequency of communication reports to stakeholders to manage expectations. Answer: B. Introduce user stories and collaborative discussions with stakeholders during backlog refinement sessions. The delivery performance domain emphasizes delivering value and satisfying stakeholders' needs. If stakeholders are dissatisfied with features even if acceptance criteria are met, it indicates a gap in understanding or capturing their true underlying needs. User stories and collaborative backlog refinement sessions directly involve stakeholders in defining requirements and understanding the value desired, leading to more relevant and valuable deliveries. Remember, effective delivery isn't just about output, it's about delivering the right outcomes that truly meet stakeholder expectations. Question 5. In a project following a hybrid approach, the core product development uses Agile iterations, while external integrations are managed using a predictive approach with a detailed schedule. The Agile team reports frequent impediments due to delays in receiving integration specifications from the external vendor. What is the most effective action for the project manager to take? A. Shift the entire project to a fully predictive approach to standardize planning. B. Renegotiate the contract with the external vendor to include penalties for delays. C. Facilitate regular coordination meetings between the Agile team and the external integration team to align schedules and dependencies. D. Instruct the Agile team to work on lower priority features until the integration specifications are received. Answer: C. Facilitate regular coordination meetings between the Agile team and the external integration team to align schedules and dependencies. In a hybrid project, managing interdependencies between different life cycle approaches is critical for smooth delivery. Delays in receiving specifications indicate a lack of effective coordination and communication across the different segments of the project. Facilitating regular coordination meetings helps bridge the gap, align expectations, resolve dependencies, and ensures that information flows efficiently between the Agile and predictive components, directly impacting the overall delivery flow. Cross-team communication and alignment are paramount in hybrid environments to prevent bottlenecks. Question 6. A project manager is reviewing the project's progress and notes that the earned value, EV, is significantly lower than the planned value, PV, while the actual cost, AC, is higher than expected. Which of the following is the most appropriate interpretation and action in the delivery performance domain? A. The project is ahead of schedule and under budget, continue current activities. B. The project is behind schedule and over budget, implement corrective actions to improve performance. C. The project is on schedule but over budget, re-evaluate cost estimates for remaining work. D. The project is on track, monitor closely for any future deviations. Answer: B. The project is behind schedule and over budget, implement corrective actions to improve performance. In earned value management, if earned value, EV, is less than planned value, PV, it indicates a schedule variance, SV equals EV, PV is 0, meaning the project is behind schedule. If actual cost, AC, is greater than earned value, EV, it indicates a cost variance, CV equals EV, AC is 0, meaning the project is over budget. Therefore, the project is performing poorly both in terms of schedule and cost, necessitating immediate corrective actions to bring it back on track. Always remember that negative variances typically signal problems that require attention and action. Question 7. A project team is conducting its daily stand-up meeting. A team member reports an impediment that is blocking their progress on a critical user story. What is the primary role of the Scrum Master or Project Manager in the delivery performance domain during this meeting? A. Assign another team member to help resolve the impediment immediately. B. Note the impediment and discuss it at the next retrospective meeting. C. Facilitate the removal of the impediment to allow the team member to continue work. D. Instruct the team member to find a workaround for the impediment. Answer: C. Facilitate the removal of the impediment to allow the team member to continue work. In Agile delivery, daily stand-ups are for inspecting progress and identifying impediments that hinder the team's ability to achieve the sprint goal. The Scrum Master's or project manager's primary role in this context is to act as a servant leader by facilitating the removal of these impediments. This allows the team to remain focused and productive, ensuring the smooth flow of work and timely delivery of the increment. Removing blockers is crucial for maintaining a high-performing and self-organizing team. Question 8. A project manager is overseeing a large infrastructure project. During a quality control inspection, it is discovered that a batch of concrete used for a foundation pour does not meet the specified compressive strength requirements. What is the most appropriate immediate action in the delivery performance domain? A. Document the nonconformance and proceed with the next construction phase. B. Initiate a formal change request to relax the compressive strength requirements. C. Quarantine the affected area, assess the impact, and determine corrective or preventive actions, potentially including rework or demolition. D. File a claim against the concrete supplier for delivering substandard material. Answer: C. Quarantine the affected area, assess the impact, and determine corrective or preventive actions, potentially including rework or demolition. When a quality nonconformance is discovered, especially with critical components like a foundation, the immediate priority is to contain the issue and prevent further defects or failures. Quarantining the affected area allows for a thorough assessment of the defect's impact and the determination of the most appropriate corrective actions, which may include rework, replacement, or even demolition, to ensure the final product meets specified quality standards. Quality assurance and control are vital for delivering a robust and reliable product. Question 9. A project team is regularly delivering value to stakeholders through iterative releases. To improve the predictability and efficiency of their delivery, the team starts using a Kanban board to visualize their workflow. Which metric would be most relevant for the project manager to track on this board to assess delivery performance? A. Cost Performance Index, CPI. B. Return on Investment, ROI. C. Cycle time. D. Stakeholder Satisfaction Score. Answer: C. Cycle time. In Agile and Lean contexts like Kanban, delivery performance is often measured by flow efficiency. Cycle time, which measures the total time from when work starts on an item until it is completed, is a direct indicator of how quickly the team can deliver value. Tracking and reducing cycle time helps improve predictability, optimize the flow of work, and enhance overall delivery effectiveness. Understanding how long it takes to move an item through the workflow is key to continuous improvement in delivery. Question 10. The project team has just completed an iteration and successfully delivered a set of features. Before the next iteration planning, the project manager wants to ensure continuous improvement in the delivery performance domain. Which Agile event is specifically designed for the team to inspect itself and create a plan for improvements to be enacted during the next iteration? A. Sprint Review. B. Daily Scrum. C. Sprint Retrospective. D. Backlog Refinement. Answer: C. Sprint Retrospective. The Sprint Retrospective is a key Agile event dedicated to continuous improvement within the delivery performance domain. During this meeting, the team inspects its processes, tools, and interactions, identifies what went well, what could be improved, and creates specific, actionable plans for improvement for the upcoming iteration. This self-assessment and adaptation are crucial for enhancing team effectiveness and overall project delivery. Always leverage retrospectives to foster a culture of learning and continuous improvement. Question 11. A project team is struggling to maintain focus during a sprint, with team members frequently pulled into urgent issues from other departments. This leads to missed sprint goals. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager or scrum master to take to protect the team's delivery focus? A. Implement stricter time tracking for all team activities. B. Shield the team from external interruptions and negotiate with other departments to funnel requests through a single point of contact. C. Increase the length of sprints to allow more time for unexpected interruptions. D. Reduce the scope of future sprints to account for the interruptions. Answer: B. Shield the team from external interruptions and negotiate with other departments to funnel requests through a single point of contact. Effective delivery relies on the team's ability to concentrate on the work at hand and achieve sprint goals. Frequent interruptions are major impediments to this focus and can significantly hinder delivery performance. The project manager or scrum master acts as a servant leader, protecting the team from external distractions and facilitating communication to ensure that requests are prioritized and handled appropriately without derailing the current sprint's objectives. Protecting the team's focus is critical for maintaining high productivity and meeting commitments. Question 12. A project manager is reviewing the current iteration's burndown chart. It shows that the remaining work line is consistently above the ideal line, indicating the team is unlikely to complete all committed work by the end of the sprint. What is the most immediate and proactive step to take within the delivery performance domain? A. Extend the sprint duration to allow more time for completion. B. Reduce the scope of the current sprint by working with the product owner to deprioritize some items. C. Add more team members to accelerate the remaining work. D. Reevaluate the team's velocity based on past performance. Answer: B. Reduce the scope of the current sprint by working with the product owner to deprioritize some items. A burn-down chart showing that the team is behind schedule indicates that the current sprint goal is at risk. In Agile, the product owner has the authority to refine the backlog and deprioritize items. Proactively collaborating with the product owner to reduce the scope of the current sprint ensures that the team can focus on delivering the most valuable remaining items and still achieve a realistic sprint goal. This adaptive approach helps maintain quality and avoids overcommitment, which is vital for effective delivery. Question 13. A project is developing a complex system. To ensure that the delivered product will function as expected and meet specific performance benchmarks, the project manager plans to implement rigorous testing procedures at various stages. This best describes an activity within which aspect of the delivery performance domain. A. Managing project resources. B. Managing schedule. C. Ensuring quality. D. Engaging stakeholders. Answer: C. Ensuring quality. Rigorous testing procedures and ensuring that the delivered product functions as expected and meets performance benchmarks are direct activities related to quality management. The delivery performance domain emphasizes achieving the scope and quality that the project was undertaken to produce. Therefore, activities like quality control, testing, and quality assurance are integral to ensuring that the deliverables meet the required standards and are fit for purpose. Remember, quality is not an afterthought, it's built into the delivery process. Question 14. During the project execution, a project manager receives a request from a key stakeholder to add a significant new feature that was not part of the approved scope baseline. The feature is critical for an upcoming market opportunity. What is the project manager's most appropriate action within the delivery performance domain? A. Immediately add the feature to the current work stream to capitalize on the opportunity. B. Reject the request as it falls outside the approved scope. C. Escalate the request to the project sponsor for an immediate decision. D. Document the request, assess its impact on scope, schedule, cost, and quality, and initiate the formal change control process. Answer: D. Document the request, assess its impact on scope, schedule, cost, and quality, and initiate the formal change control process. Within the delivery performance domain, managing scope changes is critical to maintaining control and ensuring project success, especially in predictive environments. Any significant change request, even if deemed critical, must undergo a formal change control process. This involves documenting the request, performing an impact analysis across all project constraints, scope, schedule, cost, quality, and then submitting it to the change control board or appropriate authority for approval. This systematic approach prevents scope creep and maintains project integrity. Question 15. An Agile team is preparing for their sprint review, where they will demonstrate the completed increment to stakeholders. What is the primary purpose of this event in the delivery performance domain? A. To plan the work for the next sprint based on team capacity. B. To discuss internal team processes and identify improvements. C. To inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog as needed based on feedback. D. To review the overall project budget and actual costs. Answer: C. To inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog as needed based on feedback. The sprint review is a crucial event in the delivery performance domain for Agile projects. Its primary purpose is to demonstrate the done increment to stakeholders and gather their feedback. This collaborative inspection allows stakeholders to provide input, helping the team and product owner determine if the increment meets their needs and enabling them to adapt the product backlog for future sprints to maximize value delivery. Think of it as a quality checkpoint and a feedback loop for continuous alignment with stakeholder expectations. Question 16. A project is using a Kanban system to manage its workflow. The team notices that there is a significant buildup of work in progress, WIP, in the testing column, but the done column is not filling up as quickly. What does this indicate about the delivery flow, and what action should be considered? A. The team is efficient in starting new work, add more work to the backlog. B. There is a bottleneck in the testing phase, swarm on testing activities to clear the bottleneck. C. The developers are idle, assign them to assist with user acceptance testing. D. The quality of development work is high, reduce the number of testers. Answer: B. There is a bottleneck in the testing phase, swarm on testing activities to clear the bottleneck. A buildup of WIP in a specific column on a Kanban board indicates a bottleneck, meaning work is flowing into that stage faster than it is flowing out. In this case, the testing phase is a constraint on the overall delivery flow. The most effective action is to address this bottleneck by having the team swarm or collectively focus on clearing the testing queue, which might involve developers assisting testers, to unblock the flow and move items to done. Unblocking bottlenecks is critical for improving flow and delivery efficiency. Question 17. A project manager is overseeing a product development project that uses a minimum viable product (MVP) approach. After the first MVP release, initial user feedback indicates a strong need for an additional core feature that was not part of the initial MVP plan. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take within the delivery performance domain? A. Dismiss the feedback as the MVP was already released. B. Incorporate the new feature into the next release without further validation. C. Validate the importance of the new feature with a wider user base and, if confirmed, prioritize it for a future iteration in the product backlog. D. Create a separate project for the new feature to avoid scope creep. Answer: C. Validate the importance of the new feature with a wider user base and, if confirmed, prioritize it for a future iteration in the product backlog. The MVP approach in the delivery performance domain focuses on delivering the smallest possible product to learn and adapt based on real user feedback. When significant new needs are identified post-release, the most effective approach is to validate the importance and value of these needs before committing to development. If confirmed, the new feature should be prioritized in the product backlog for a future iteration, demonstrating an adaptive approach to maximize value delivery. Continuous learning and adaptation are hallmarks of effective product development. Question 18. A project team is constantly delivering features that are technically sound but fail to meet the performance scalability requirements. This only becomes apparent during late-stage user acceptance testing. To improve this aspect of delivery, what should the team focus on? A. Increasing the number of functional tests. B. Implementing performance testing earlier in the development lifecycle. C. Adding more developers to increase coding speed. D. Reducing the scope of features to manage complexity. Answer: B. Implementing performance testing earlier in the development lifecycle. Quality control and assurance are vital components of the delivery performance domain. Discovering performance issues late in the cycle is inefficient and costly. Shifting left, quality activities, such as implementing performance testing earlier, allows for the identification and rectification of scalability issues when they are less expensive and easier to fix. This proactive approach ensures that quality attributes like performance are built into the product incrementally, leading to more robust and higher quality deliveries. Early detection is key to efficient quality management. Question 19. A project manager is preparing a progress report for stakeholders. The project is using an Agile approach. Which information should the project manager prioritize, including to effectively communicate delivery status? A. Detailed Gantt chart with critical path analysis. B. Budget variance and schedule variance, CPI and SPI, for the entire project. C. Current sprints completed features, upcoming backlog items, and any significant impediments. D. Individual team member performance metrics. Answer: C. Current sprints completed features, upcoming backlog items, and any significant impediments. In Agile contexts within the delivery performance domain, communication focuses on transparency and adaptability. Stakeholders are primarily interested in the delivered value and the immediate future of the product. Reporting on completed features from the current sprint, what was delivered, upcoming backlog items, what's next, and any significant impediments, what's blocking us, provides a clear, concise, and relevant picture of the project's progress and health, aligning with Agile principles of frequent and transparent communication. Focus on value delivered and flow. Question 20. The project team is struggling to meet iteration commitments due to a lack of clear understanding of user needs for several high-priority features. This leads to rework and delays. What is the most beneficial action for the project manager to take? A. Implement stricter deadlines for feature completion. B. Engage the product owner and business analysts more deeply in backlog refinement to ensure detailed requirements and clear acceptance criteria. C. Increase the size of the development team to accelerate work. D. Mandate pair programming for all complex features. Answer: B. Engage the product owner and business analysts more deeply in backlog refinement to ensure detailed requirements and clear acceptance criteria. Unclear user needs directly hinder effective delivery, leading to wasted effort and rework. The delivery performance domain emphasizes producing the intended results. Deep engagement of the product owner and business analysts in backlog refinement is crucial for elaborating requirements, ensuring they are clear, concise, and have well-defined acceptance criteria, which directly enables the development team to deliver the right features with greater efficiency and less rework. Clarity in requirements is foundational for successful delivery. Question 21. A construction project experiences a sudden spike in material costs due to unforeseen global supply chain disruptions. This threatens the project's budget and potentially its ability to deliver the full scope. What is the project manager's primary concern and action in the delivery performance domain? A. Postpone the project until material costs stabilize. B. Absorb the increased costs and proceed as planned. C. Reevaluate the project budget and scope, and work with stakeholders to determine the best course of action, potentially including scope reduction or budget increase. D. Blame the procurement department for not foreseeing the disruption. Answer: C. Reevaluate the project budget and scope, and work with stakeholders to determine the best course of action, potentially including scope reduction or budget increase. Unexpected cost increases directly impact the project's ability to deliver its agreed-upon scope within budget. In the delivery performance domain, the project manager must actively manage these constraints. The most appropriate action is to promptly re-evaluate the impact on the overall project and engage with stakeholders to explore options, which might include adjusting the budget, reducing scope, or altering specifications, to find a feasible path forward for successful delivery. Proactive problem-solving and stakeholder collaboration are essential when facing significant cost challenges. Question 22. A project is being managed using a predictive approach. The project manager identifies that the project is consistently failing to meet its interim milestones, indicating a significant schedule delay. What action should be prioritized within the delivery performance domain to address this? A. Reduce the project's overall scope to save time. B. Initiate formal performance reviews for individual team members. C. Implement schedule compression techniques like crashing or fast-tracking, after assessing their impact. D. Request an extension for the project deadline from the sponsor. Answer: C. Implement schedule compression techniques like crashing or fast-tracking, after assessing their impact. When a predictive project faces significant schedule delays, the delivery performance domain requires proactive measures to bring it back on track. Schedule compression techniques like crashing, adding resources or working overtime, or fast-tracking, performing activities in parallel that were originally planned sequentially, can accelerate the schedule. These techniques should be carefully assessed for their potential impact on cost, risk, and quality before implementation. Actively managing the schedule through such techniques helps maintain the project's delivery commitments. Question 23. An Agile team is working on a product and finds that several critical components require integration with an external legacy system. The team identifies this as a significant technical risk that could impact their ability to deliver working software each iteration. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager or Scrum Master to take? A. Document the risk and move it to a risk register for review at the end of the project. B. Create a detailed integration plan with the legacy system owner, allocate dedicated time for spikes or proof of concepts, and prioritize the integration work. C. Ignore the integration until the components are fully developed. D. Hand over the integration task to a separate, specialized team. Answer: B. Create a detailed integration plan with the legacy system owner, allocate dedicated time for spikes or proof of concepts, and prioritize the integration work. Complex integrations, especially with legacy systems, pose significant risks to continuous delivery. In the delivery performance domain, addressing such risks proactively is crucial. Creating a detailed integration plan, allocating time for spikes, short, time-boxed investigations, or proof of concepts, and prioritizing this work allows the team to learn about the integration challenges early, mitigate risks, and ensure that the delivered increments are truly done and functional. Proactive risk management and early resolution of technical challenges are vital for smooth delivery. Question 24. A project manager is conducting a lessons learned session at the end of a project. A recurring theme identified is that many issues arose during the delivery phase because team members were not clearly aware of the priority of tasks, leading to inefficient work distribution. What process improvement should the project manager recommend for future projects in the delivery performance domain? A. Implement more frequent status reporting meetings. B. Establish clear communication channels for task prioritization and regularly review work in progress with the team. C. Increase the number of project milestones. D. Outsource task management to a specialized vendor. Answer: B. Establish clear communication channels for task prioritization and regularly review work in progress with the team. Inefficient work distribution due to unclear priorities directly impacts delivery performance. For future projects, establishing clear communication channels and regularly reviewing work in progress ensures that the team understands what is most important to work on next. This clarity helps optimize flow, reduces wasted effort, and ensures that the most valuable items are delivered efficiently. Effective communication and visible work prioritization are cornerstones of successful project delivery. Question 25. A project is underway to develop a new mobile application. The team is consistently meeting their sprint goals, but the product owner and stakeholders are concerned that the application's user interface, UI, is not visually appealing and struggles with responsiveness on certain devices, despite passing functional tests. This is impacting potential user adoption. What should the project manager prioritize with the team? A. Focus solely on meeting functional requirements, as they are the primary criteria. B. Incorporate user experience, UX, and performance metrics into the definition of done, and allocate time for UI/UX improvements and performance tuning. C. Suggest hiring an external design agency to handle all UI/UX aspects. D. Increase the number of features delivered in the next sprint to compensate for UI issues. Answer: B. Incorporate user experience, UX, and performance metrics into the definition of done, and allocate time for UI/UX improvements and performance tuning. Delivering a product that meets stakeholder needs goes beyond just functional completeness. It includes non-functional requirements like usability, performance, and visual appeal. When these aspects are lacking, it impacts value delivery. Incorporating UX and performance metrics into the definition of done ensures that the team considers these crucial quality attributes throughout development, not just at the end. Allocating time for UI/UX improvements and performance tuning within sprints is essential to deliver a truly valuable and high-quality product. The definition of done ensures comprehensive quality in delivery.